Good morning. I'm Patrick Erickson with the Inland COVID Response Joint Information Center. We appreciate everyone for being with us here on Facebook. This morning we'll have an update from Spokane County Health Officer Dr. Bob Lutz. We'll also have Drew Moyer with Second Harvest, who will be discussing food security, how the need for food has changed, and how they're adapting to address those needs. And this morning he will also be joined by Representative Marcus Riccelli, who will share information on the recently developed Food Access Map, summer meal programs for families, and assistance from the National Guard, and Giving Tuesday. Now, if you have any questions for our speakers, be sure to share them with us right here on Facebook, and we'll try to get to as many as we can, answer as many of those in the next half hour or so. And with that, we will start with Dr. Lutz.
Excuse me, with the mask. Good morning. So the numbers, let's look at numbers again today. We'll start off with saying that we have had a total of 367 cases, and what I'm most happy to report is that we've had no further increase in hospitalizations over the past few days, so that's very encouraging. We still have 10 individuals, however, in the hospital. So in light of our conversation today, I think it's really important that we take note and really express our gratitude to the efforts of the nonprofit sector. Cities and states are relying on them as partners to buffer against the worst impacts of the outbreak. And we'll continue to rely on their expertise and experience of these community-based institutions in the recovery efforts that lie ahead. Now, nonprofits in our community are instrumental partners in helping us complete the steps Governor Inslee has outlined as necessary to reopen Spokane, particularly the steps to support all people and all communities. We have to work together and collaboratively to support each other to get through this and get back on our feet. Ensuring food and housing security is a major part of this support. Does everyone have access to ample food, healthy food? And do we have a strong, sustainable supply chain? Access to healthy food is essential for healthy child development, reduction of chronic diseases in our community, and for everyone. Second Harvest is our region's overarching partner to help us ensure this step is met, and they're here today to talk about how they feed the need for food in our community and how it's changed and how they're adapting to meet those needs. So with that, Drew.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lutz. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to speak. I just want to start by thanking all the volunteers, the 250 local food banks in the region who are our partners, school districts, community organizers, and the families who support them, keeping people fed and meeting basic needs throughout the pandemic. I will echo what Dr. Lutz said, that emergency food systems in the region are continuing to adapt, coping with the surge in demand at all levels. We have three main goals throughout this phase of the mission to ensure that people have access to food. The first is to be safe. So we want to do everything that we can to make sure that our staff and volunteers are safe while they're serving. The second is we want to find and give food. That's our primary objective and the reason that we exist as an organization. I will tell you, over the last 2 months, it has not been easy, and despite the changes in the supply chain, our team has worked really creatively to locate food resources. We know we need to expand to meet the needs of folks in the community, as that need is increasing pretty dramatically as a result of the disruption caused by the coronavirus. And the third thing is we need to get more help. We will need a lot of resources and support to find and purchase food as soon as possible. We know that the economic shocks to the system are going to keep coming, and we need to keep rapidly scaling our response to help serve the tens of thousands of people in our region that we know need food assistance. So our communities are resilient, and we're in it to serve for the long haul as an organization. We want to make sure that folks have their basic needs met, not just next week, but also in the months to come. And we're going to work extensively with our pantry partners to strengthen their efforts to serve their guests by providing the right food in the appropriate quantities at the right time. And we know this has been really challenging over the last couple of months. The team at Second Harvest is really looking at the adaptations that we need to make so that we can continue delivering food in the next 6 months. And we're evaluating how we can weave some more resiliency into our operating model so that we can prepare to serve a wave of newly vulnerable people that we believe will seek assistance over the next several months and the years ahead in the recovery period. I wanted to share a little bit about our response right now. Since March 1st, Second Harvest has increased distribution about 20% over normal. That's about 5.7 million pounds of food throughout the region. We're working with Spokane Public Schools and our partners at the Core to deliver weekend backpack kits, what we call Bite to Go. We have delivered 41,000 of those to 70 plus schools over the past several weeks. And those folks are amazing, and if you're a part of that program, thank you. We expanded our mobile market events to 15 plus per week, and we have served over 14,000 people. Just this last Saturday, the 25th, we served nearly 700 families at a drive-through distribution at our Spokane warehouse. We're also partnering with the organizations like the Spokane Food Fighters, who have helped distribute many thousands of meals and 1,200 emergency boxes to folks who were shut in or at risk because of the coronavirus. So I want to thank those volunteers for working alongside us to help make sure that food security needs are met. And we're partnering. We're working with the state of Washington, our statewide hunger relief partners, Food Lifeline and Northwest Harvest, through the Washington Food Fund. And I'm really proud to announce that this product is beginning to flow into our system. And we made our first deliveries to partners in Northeast Washington yesterday. And this product will start flowing soon throughout our region. We're also partnering with the National Guard. We have 40 Guardsmen and women deployed to our Spokane facility, and they have added a tremendous level of productivity and safety for our team and partners during the crisis. They're serving alongside our staff, helping us procure, sort, and package food for distribution. They're assisting with food transfers between our facilities and ultimately helping us protect public health and safety, ensuring we can socially distance inside of our warehouse and make sure our food bank operations can process community donations as they come in. So, in closing, I'd just like to say, if you can, please support your local pantry or your health and human service partner with a gift. They are doing incredibly important work under tremendous stress as we all cope with the consequences of the pandemic. And thank you.
Hello, I'm State Representative Marcus Riccelli, and I'm also a member of our Food Continuity Task Force. The need has grown since I last came in front of you on this topic, and there continues to be increased demand on our food bank system due to increased unemployment. I want to take this opportunity again to remind people that if you or people you know aren't sure where to go to learn more about your food bank options, to use the online form that you can find at SpokaneCOVIDresponse.com, or for those in the city of Spokane boundaries, residents can call 311 Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. For those outside the city of Spokane boundaries, residents can call 509-755-2489, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Second Harvest, Northwest Harvest, and Food Lifeline also partnered to create a statewide map to find food resources near you, and you can find that link. It'll be shared as well at foodlifeline.org/need-food. It's a mouthful. We'll share the link. If history provides us any kind of insight, during the last recession, the needs of our area doubled. As a reminder, an estimated 1.6 million Washingtonians are at risk of not having enough food to eat. That's double the number of people than before the virus outbreak. That number may continue to rise as hundreds of thousands of Washingtonians struggle with joblessness and limited resources. As we heard from Drew, demands at food banks have increased, and according to Feeding America, that group estimates 40% of those being served are new to the system. As we face this unprecedented demand, donations to food banks are down by 70%. Please, if you're able to make a contribution to the Washington Food Fund, wafoodfund.org, again, we'll share that link, which we know is already providing needed help in our region and through the food boxes. If you can do that, or you can participate, Giving Tuesday on May 5th, that's an excellent opportunity to make a difference. I also wanted to take a moment to say the USDA says the agency is going to purchase $100 million per month of fresh produce, meat and dairy for the remainder of the fiscal year 2020. but purchasing has not increased much in the past 6 weeks. Across the country, farmers are destroying crops, yet we remain fearful of supply shortages. At the same time, we have long lines at our food banks. I want to call on my fellow electeds to urge the Department of Agriculture to step in, particularly our federal delegation. It does not seem to be a lack of food. It's connecting where the food is to the need. Nobody wants to see those pictures of farmers destroying their crops in this time of need. Last time I spoke about how amazing our community has been in responding to the public health issue of people needing food continuity. I want to really thank Dr. Lutz and our team for recognizing that food is health. I also want to take a moment to give a shout out and a special thanks to a critical part that is helping our community. Thank you to Colonel Gardner, commander of the 141st Air National Guard, and his team. National Guard members are an important part of our major food bank's emergency response plan to sustain services to hunger relief partners where there still is so much uncertainty. Again, as unemployment rates soar to historical highs, more people will be landing in food bank lines. Having the Guard assist with our local food banks will continue to be crucial to responding to increased food insecurity for the long term. At a time when volunteer support is limited due to COVID-19 concerns, we've heard that a lot of our food bank volunteers are over 60 in normal times. Guard members are addressing a critical need to process bulk donations of produce, frozen foods, and dry goods. We could not be more appreciative and grateful for their needed presence in our area and the commitment to have the resources so they can continue from our federal and state partners. They accomplish an incredible amount of work to support mission-critical activities. Guard members are the reason Second Harvest is able to deliver close to $1 million worth of donated food a week right now. These men and women are Washington residents who are invested in our communities and care deeply for the people they serve. They're your neighbors, coworkers, friends, and family members. They're stepping up in this time of great need, and we wanted to take this opportunity to give a huge thank you. And with that, I believe we'll be taking some questions.
And we do have a question that's probably for both of our speakers here this morning. Can you talk about the needs here locally and kind of put them in perspective when we're talking about statewide and nationwide? How similar, or if there is any sort of difference here locally, what we're seeing versus maybe on the state level and the nationwide level?
So I'll bring our local expert up, Drew, to take a shot at that.
Yeah, great question. Locally, we are hearing from pantry partners increases of anywhere from 20 to 40% in the number of people visiting for assistance. We know that many of those are for the first time. I can share our experience at our mobile markets. We've hosted them recently at the Spokane Valley Mall, the Silver Lake Mall in Coeur d'Alene. We just did a distribution, as I mentioned earlier, last Saturday at our facility. And we had a line of cars probably a mile long. Our clicker sort of broke down, but it was sort of stunning to see that level of need. We were very glad to not run out of food and be able to serve as many as we did. Those are kind of leading indicators for me that there's still a lot of recovery to be done. There's a lot of folks still struggling. And our data before this began, we know that we were serving an estimated 55,000 people a week. We know that we're likely still serving all of those folks and this wave of newly vulnerable individuals that are turning to food banks for help.
Drew, I have two more questions for you. A lot of this will be clarification, but what are the best way for individuals who need to connect with resources to connect? If you could be specific about somebody that is in need of services, whether it's the Bite to Go program or the food pantry programs, where is the best place for them to get that information?
Absolutely. So I will say for the Bite to Go program, the best thing to do is to connect with your school, to connect with the administrators that are there, a trusted teacher, and inquire about the program. That's really how folks get connected to that. If you're seeking assistance at a pantry site, I want to encourage you to visit 2-harvest.org. Click on I Need Food Assistance. I would also recommend signing up for basic food or SNAP benefits. Start there, and then locate a pantry in your county by your zip code and contact them to see the hours that they are open. We try to keep that updated. It's very challenging with the number of pantries and with the changes that they're experiencing as their volunteer base shifts in response to the coronavirus. And then a third option that I'll mention is our mobile markets. So we do update that calendar regularly. Those are changing all the time. So you can check our website there, and we also try to post those on our Facebook page, and you can check our events to learn about assistance there.
You touched upon this as well, but if you could provide further clarification for individuals in our community who want to help, what is the best way for them to help, and where can they go to do that?
The best way to help Second Harvest at this time is to consider making a financial gift. We're able to stretch dollars considerably with our relationships in the food industry. That's a great way to help. We have limited volunteer opportunities available. We're trying to use volunteers pretty sparingly at this time, as we are still under a stay home, stay safe order. Those opportunities may increase in the months ahead, so check that opportunity often. There's also plenty of opportunities to volunteer through other community organizations. A food pantry near you, if you are not in an at-risk group and able to serve, undoubtedly would take you up on those opportunities. Spokane County United Way has a fantastic website connecting you to all kinds of great organizations. You can enter your information and get connected or matched with an organization that could use your skills and talents.
And how vital are our volunteers, not only the volunteers, but also our Washington National Guard working within our different food banks and distribution sites?
Yeah, I will start by thanking the members of the Air National Guard that are serving in Spokane and Pasco and at food banks across the country. I totally echo Representative Riccelli's comments. We could not distribute what we are distributing today without their support. They're there 6 days a week, packing food 8 hours a day, based on the types of products that we've been able to access as this food supply chain has been altered over the past several months. In ordinary circumstances, pre-COVID-19, Second Harvest relied on anywhere from 350 to 400 volunteers a week to support our operations, and that number has obviously changed, but the importance of volunteers to our work cannot be overstated. It is so critical to have those there, and other community organizations like At the Core, supporting 70+ schools, those are all individual volunteers who are picking up food and delivering it to those school sites. And partners like the Spokane Food Fighters, it's the same story. It's individuals picking up food at a local restaurant or at Second Harvest and delivering it to folks at their home. That would not be possible without the assistance of volunteers. So if that's you, thank you.
And for folks that are going to be visiting distribution sites, what are some things that they can do to both keep themselves safe, but also keep your team safe?
Yeah, all of our distributions have transitioned to drive-through style. So we really want to encourage folks to stay in their vehicles, follow the guidelines that are set out by the CDC, so wearing masks, sanitizing high-touch surfaces often. Go slow when you're driving through. These are our volunteers and guardsmen, and follow their instructions at those distribution sites, and we will do our very best to get you food if you turn up there.
Thank you. And then we'll end with Dr. Lutz, as we typically do every day. In fighting,
Well, every day but the weekends.
except weekends.
Except weekends.
Except weekends.
Right, because we're going to have a good weekend.
You're booked out on weekends.
Right, I'm booked out on weekends. I'm still working, but I'm booked out on weekends, right? Just want to confirm.
Just 100%.
Okay, good.
You are
So,
correct.
okay, good. Well, thank you all for listening in. Really thank Drew and First Harvest, and of course, Representative Riccelli, who has been really key at focusing on food insecurity in our community. It's a vital issue, incredibly important, and it pains me to hear and see the numbers, but that's the reality. So, should we try it?
Try it.
Let's try it. Okay, so stay home, stay healthy, wash your hands, and save lives. Thank you. Have a good weekend.